Hi everyone! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Sir A and today we're diving into an important topic from Chapter 3 of EDUC 104, Foundation of Inclusive and Special Education. In this chapter, we explore the different typologies of learners with special needs. Understanding these diverse learners is essential for creating inclusive classrooms where every student can succeed. We'll look at various categories, including those with learning disabilities, visual and hearing impairments, and exceptional talents. I'll also share some effective strategies for supporting these learners in educational settings. So, if you're passionate about education and want to learn how to better support all students, make sure to stick around. Let's get started. For our learning objectives, by the end of this unit, pre-service teachers should be able to distinguish types, identifications, causes, and characteristics of learners with special needs, describe the levels, causes, and characteristics of learners with various disabilities, demonstrate understanding of the educational needs of learners in difficult situations. Last, apply inclusive teaching strategies for learners from marginalized or indigenous backgrounds. This is the outline of the discussion. For letter A, we will be talking about learners with intellectual disability, also learners with learning disability, and learners with physical disabilities. We will be talking about learners who are gifted and talented, also learners with socio-emotional disorder, learners with chronic illness, learners difficult circumstances, and learners from indigenous group. As an introduction, typology of learners with special needs. For the definition, special needs learners are individuals with physical, intellectual, emotional, or social challenges requiring extra educational support. To make this clearer, special needs learners face challenges like physical disabilities, learning difficulties such as dyslexia, or emotional conditions like anxiety. These challenges make it harder for them to learn in traditional ways, so they need extra support, whether it's a specialized teaching methods, assistive technologies, or classroom adjustment. The goal is to ensure they can learn and succeed just like other students, but with the right and kind of help tailored to their needs. For the historical context, the movement for inclusive education began in the 20th century with a shift from segregated institutions to mainstream education. In the past, students with special needs were often placed in separate institutions, but over time, educators realized that integrating them into regular classrooms with proper support was more beneficial. This shift toward inclusive education began in the 20th century and continues to grow today. For our key figures, John Dewey, Progressive Education, John Piaget, Cognitive Development Theory, and Lev Vygotsky, Social Learning Theory. Several key figures influenced this movement, like John Dewey promoted education that focuses on the whole child. John Piaget showed how children learn differently at different stages, which helps us understand special needs learners. Also, Lev Vygotsky emphasized learning through social interaction, supporting the idea that these learners benefit from being included in regular classrooms. Let's start with letter A, learners with intellectual disabilities. Number one, cerebral palsy or the CP is a neurological condition first identified by Sir William Little in the 19th century. Initially called Little's disease, it results from brain damage before, during, or shortly after birth, affecting muscle control. Symptoms include motor impairment causing difficulty with movement and posture, speech problems, due to poor muscle coordination and seizures from epilepsy. The severity varies, but early intervention can improve quality of life. Number two, trisomy 21 or the Down syndrome. It was discovered by John Langdon Down in 1866 and later identified as a genetic condition caused by the presence of an extra 21st chromosome. Symptoms include intellectual disability, distinct facial features such as a flat facial profile and almond-shaped eyes, and delayed physical and cognitive development. Early intervention and support can improve outcomes for individuals with Down syndrome. To support individuals with Down syndrome, it is essential to use multisensory teaching strategies such as visual aids, music, and tactile activities to enhance learning. Chunking tasks into smaller, manageable steps helps prevent cognitive overload and promotes better comprehension. Additionally, assistive technologies like voice to text apps and communication boards can improve communication and foster independence. Letter B, learners with learning disabilities. Number one, dyslexia. Identified by Dr. Samuel Orton in the 1920s. It is a reading disorder characterized by struggles with reading and spelling. To support dyslexic learners, providing audio versions of text can be highly beneficial. Number two, dysgraphia. It was noted by early neurologists as a difficulty in written expression, leading to symptoms such as poor handwriting and trouble organizing thoughts. Using graphic organizers can help these students effectively manage their written assignments. Lastly, dyscalculia is recognized by the American Psychiatric Association as a math-related disability, manifesting as an inability to understand numbers and arithmetic. Incorporating manipulatives and real-life examples in math lessons can greatly assist students with dyscalculia in grasping mathematical concepts. Letter C, learners with physical disabilities. Number one is visual impairment. It was significantly addressed by Louis Braille, who developed the Braille system in 1824 to assist the visually impaired. Symptoms can range from partial to total blindness, and inclusive teaching strategies such as using screen readers and providing enlarged print materials are essential. Number two is hearing impairment. It has a rich history with Pedro Ponce de Leon pioneering deaf education in the 1500s. Symptoms vary widely from mild to severe hearing loss, and encouraging the use of sign language or hearing aids can enhance communication. Number three, speech impairment. It was emerged as a recognized field with the development of speech therapy in the early 1900s, manifesting in symptoms like stuttering and articulation problems. Allowing extra time during oral presentations for students with speech challenges can help reduce anxiety and improve their performance. Let us now proceed in letter D, learners who are gifted and talented. The concept of giftedness began with Louis Thurman's IQ studies in 1916, which identified children with high intellectual abilities. In 1983, Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences theory expanded this idea beyond IQ to include talents in visual arts, music, and performing arts. Modern education emphasizes nurturing these diverse abilities through differentiated learning experiences. Gifted learners in the visual arts create detailed and imaginative artwork, while those with musical talents quickly grasp rhythm and melody, excelling in instruments or singing. Intellectually gifted students demonstrate advanced problem solving skills and a deep love for learning, and those in the performing arts show natural confidence on stage, excelling in dance, drama, or public speaking. To support these learners, teachers can provide art exhibitions, music programs, independent study opportunities, and theater productions or talent shows, ensuring their unique talents and are nurtured and celebrated. Let's now move on to letter E, learners with socio-emotional disorders. The study of emotional and behavioral disorders, or the what we call EBD, began in the 1950s with the growth of child psychology and behavioral therapy, highlighting the importance of addressing the socio-emotional needs of learners. One common disorder is emotional behavior disorder, or the EBD, where students struggle to control their emotions, often displaying disruptive, defiant, or aggressive behavior. A key strategy for supporting these learners is positive behavior reinforcement, which rewards appropriate behaviors to encourage consistency and improvement over time. Another challenge is anxiety attacks, where learners experience overwhelming fear or panic, usually triggered by stressful situations or specific stimuli. Teachers can assist these students by creating a safe space or calm down corner within the classroom, allowing them to step away, self regulate, and manage their anxiety in a supportive environment. The third one is depression. It may show persistent sadness, lack of energy, and diminished interest in activities they once enjoyed. To promote their well being, it is helpful to offer flexible deadlines to reduce pressure and prevent overwhelming stress, giving them the space they need to recover and re engage with their learning. These inclusive strategies ensure that learners with socio-emotional disorders are supported holistically in a compassionate educational environment. The fourth one under learners with socio-emotional disorders is obsessive compulsive disorder, or the OCD. It is characterized by an overwhelming compulsion to perform repetitive behaviors or rituals, which individuals engage in to alleviate anxiety. To support learners with OCD, an effective inclusive teaching strategy is to provide predictable routines within the classroom. Establishing a consistent schedule helps reduce uncertainty and anxiety, allowing these students to feel more secure and focus on their learning. The fifth one is the bipolar disorder. It is marked by significant mood fluctuations, oscillating between periods of extreme highs known as mania and severe lows characterized by depression. To accommodate the needs of students with bipolar disorder, implementing individualized learning plans is essential. These plans can be tailored to address the varying needs that arise during different mood states, allowing for flexibility in assignments, deadlines, and classroom expectations. By creating an understanding and adaptable learning environment, educators can better support students with OCD and bipolar disorder, fostering their academic success and emotional being. We're now in letter F, learners with chronic illnesses. Number one is diabetes. It was discovered by Frederick Banting and Charles Best in 1921, marking a significant advancement in medical science as the discovery of insulin transformed diabetes from a fatal disease into a manageable condition. Individuals with diabetes require careful insulin management and adherence to healthy routines, which include maintaining a balanced diet and engaging in regular physical activity. An effective inclusive teaching strategy for supporting students with diabetes is to provide flexible schedules that accommodate insulin injections and glucose monitoring, ensuring they can manage their health without feeling stressed or distracted during class. Number two is epilepsy. Historically, surrounded by superstition and stigma, is now widely recognized and treated through medications and awareness programs. This condition involves unpredictable seizures that necessitate medical intervention and constant monitoring. To support students with epilepsy, it is crucial to keep emergency plans in place and educate staff on how to appropriately handle seizures when they occur. By fostering an informed and supportive school environment, educators can help ensure the safety and well being of students with both diabetes and epilepsy, allowing them to thrive academically and socially. Number three are asthma and allergies. They have become more effectively managed in recent years due to advancements in modern medicine, which include the use of inhalers, antihistamines, and various lifestyle adjustments. Asthma can cause significant difficulty in breathing and is often triggered by allergens, exercise, or environmental factors, while allergies represent an overreaction of the immune system to specific allergens such as food, pollen, or dust, leading to symptoms that can range from rashes to respiratory distress. To support students with asthma, it is essential to implement inclusive teaching strategies that allow for rests, breaks, and ensure quick access to inhalers when necessary. This accommodation helps students manage their condition effectively and reduces the likelihood of an asthma attack during school hours. For students with allergies, adjusting the classroom environment to minimize exposures to known allergens is crucial. This may involve creating a hypoallergenic space and having emergency medications such as epinephrine readily available. By fostering a safe and supportive environment, educators can help students with asthma and allergies participate fully in their education while prioritizing their health and well-being. Let us now proceed in letter G, learners in difficult circumstances. Since the mid 20th century, organizations like UNICEF and UNESCO have dedicated their efforts to ensuring access to education for children in emergencies. These initiatives aim to address various barriers that hinder educational opportunities, such as poverty, displacement, trauma, and geographic isolation, ultimately promoting inclusive education even in challenging circumstances. Number one, learners living in remote places often face significant difficulties due to limited access to schools and educational resources. An effective inclusive teaching strategy for these children is to utilize distance learning tools such as radio programs, TV broadcasts, and mobile apps to provide educational content that reaches learners in isolated areas. This approach helps bridge the gap and ensures that education remains accessible regardless of location. Number two is victims of war. Represent another vulnerable group as children affected by conflict endure displacement, trauma, and disrupted schooling. To support these learners, it is essential to implement trauma-informed teaching strategies that foster emotionally supportive learning environments, such as strategies help children manage stress and anxiety, allowing them to focus on their education while promoting healing and resilience. By addressing the unique challenges faced by learners in difficult circumstances, educators can create inclusive and nurturing environments that support all students in their pursuit of knowledge. Number three, under learners in difficult circumstances, is children and those from impoverished families. Often grapple with food insecurity and lack of access to education due to ongoing economic hardships. These challenges hinder their ability to attend school consistently and engage fully in their education. An effective inclusive teaching strategy for these children involves providing essential school supplies and meals, addressing their basic needs to create a more conducive learning environment. By ensuring that children are nourished and equipped for school, educators can encourage consistent attendance and foster greater engagement in their studies. Number four, victims of abuse. Also present also present a unique set of challenges as these children may suffer from emotional and behavioral issues that significantly impact their learning experience. To support their well-being, it is crucial for educators to collaborate with social workers and counselors. These partnerships can help create a positive learning environment tailored to the child's emotional needs, ensuring that they receive the necessary support to navigate their trauma. By fostering a safe and supportive atmosphere, schools can play a vital role in the healing process, enabling these children to thrive academically and emotionally. We are now in latter age learners from Indigenous groups. In New Zealand and Canada, efforts have been made to incorporate Indigenous knowledge into public education systems, aiming to preserve and honor native cultures. However, learners from Indigenous groups often face unique challenges, including language barriers and cultural isolation, which can hinder their educational experiences. Additionally, these students may encounter discrimination or a lack of representation in curricula, making it essential to create more inclusive educational environments. To support these learners, effective inclusive teaching strategies include integrating indigenous languages and knowledge systems into lessons. This approach not only affirms the cultural identity of indigenous students, but also enriches the learning experience for all students. Another strategy is to promote collaborative projects involving community leaders, allowing students to connect with their heritage and gain wisdom from those with lived experiences. Lastly, employing culturally responsive teaching methods fosters respect for diversity and helps create an inclusive classroom environment. By actively embracing Indigenous perspectives and promoting equity, educators can empower Indigenous learners and enhance the overall educational experience for all students. It's activity time. This is a group activity. It's a field visit with special needs kids. This is 100 points. Task overview. In groups, visit a child with a specific disability, chronic illness, learning difficulty, or giftedness with proper consent. Observe the learner and conduct brief interviews with parents or guardians. As a group, document the experience and present your findings through a 15 to 20-minute class presentation. Use multimedia elements, example photos, drawings, or videos, if permitted, while ensuring privacy and respect for the learner. The guiding questions for the group presentation are: for the introduction to the learner, these are the questions. Who is the learner? Use a pseudonym if necessary. What special need, disability, or talent does the learner have? How and when was the learner's condition identified? For number two, educational and social experiences. How does the learner engage in school activities? Example, academics, social interactions, extracurriculars. What accommodations or modifications are provided by the school? How do teachers and peers support the learner's inclusion in the classroom? Number three, challenges and strength. What challenges does the learner experience at school and at home? What strengths, talents, or unique abilities have been observed? Number four, inclusive strategies in practice. What inclusive strategies are being used by the school and teachers to support the learner? Are these strategies effective? If not, what improvements can be made? Number five, as a group reflection, what are the key insights from the visit? How has his experience changed your perspective on inclusive education? What recommendations would you give to enhance the learner's educational experience? For the presentation guidelines, time 15 to 20 minutes per group, format use PowerPoint or posters and include multimedia like photos, videos if allowed, respect and privacy, use pseudonyms and anonymize personal details as needed. Participation, each group member must contribute to the presentation. For the rubric, content, number one, content and depth. This is 30%. It addresses all guiding questions thoroughly and thoughtfully, provides relevant insight from observations and interviews. Number two, use multimedia. This is 20%. Enhances the presentation with visuals, example, photos, posters, or videos if applicable. Number three, application of inclusive strategies. This is 20%. Identifies appropriate strategies and suggests improvements. Number four, presentation skills and teamwork, 15%. Clear, well organized presentation with equal participation from all group members. Number five, ethics and respect for privacy. This is 15%. Maintains confidentiality and ensures respectful presentation of learner's story. These are my references. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you learned a lot in our lesson for today. Do not forget to like, share, comments, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. God bless everyone.